24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Oh, Africa, nakupenda sana ngo. We know, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear that sound, it is the African experience. With me, Dr. Hlami Ngwenya. This is Bold Move Radio. Yo, what a word, what a name, Bold Moves. You know, I'm not alone. I'm with my beautiful, beautiful co-host, Aventina Mabunda. This is the show where we talk about the African experience, where we celebrate, Africans, where we profile the African countries, where we talk anything and everything positive about this continent. Good evening, Aventina Mabunda.
Evening, Doc. It's always nice. I look forward to our Tuesday chats. It feels like we're just around the fire at home and we're chatting. So I always look forward to this time. But anyway, are you local, Doc, or are you still Amazon?
I am local. I am local as lekker. And it was so emotional today because I was sitting glued, TV, and I was watching the national orders, where the current, sitting president is bestowing, national orders to people or citizens and non-citizens who are doing, extraordinary work. I'm sure you know why I was so emotional about it. Because it just took me down the memory lane, because I know 2021, I was one of those recipients, so it was such an emotional moment, just to watch, especially that some people are really, receiving the award after death, and they don't get, to smell, those roses or flowers while they still can. But anyway, the show is not about the national orders. We have yet another exciting guest. I can't wait to feel inspired by our guest tonight. Do you want to introduce our guest, maybe?
Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, here on the African Experience, we always talking to trailblazers. We always talking to pioneers. We always talk to people who are self-driven. And tonight's show is not different. We are talking to Mr. William Shumba, and he is going to tell us, he's going to greet us and take us through his story with the hope of motivating and inspiring a Black African child. Mr. Shumba, please say hi to our viewers and listeners at home.
Mr. Shumba, I'm not sure if your audio is on. I cannot hear you. I can see that you are speaking.
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. We can hear you now.
It's on.
Yes.
I was saying, please say hi to our listeners and viewers at home. People are tuned in this hour to listen to you and hear your inspiring story.
Hello to the wonderful viewers and listeners of Bold Moves Radio. I'm really pleased to be here.
Okay. Without any waste of time, I know our listeners want to know who this William Shumba is. And on the show, we don't talk about the person. We give them an opportunity to tell us who they are. So who is William Shumba in the nutshell?
Okay, William Shumba is a young man born and raised in Hammanskraal. It's a small village just out of Hammanskraal town, Pretoria side. And I was raised by my grandparents, whom I can say today's show will most probably be dedicated to.
Wow, that is so interesting. It's the first time on this show we have a guest that says, I know you want to talk about me, but I'm dedicating the show to my grandparents. So, talk to us about that. Why the need to dedicate the show to your grandparents?
I would like to dedicate the show to my grandparents because they are the ones that I believe in my business journey that when I look back over the years, they are the ones that have actually ignited the fire in me as far as business is concerned. I can take it back to age 8 when I started now waking up, and then my grandfather bringing me into the business that he was doing. I come from a family whereby we mostly my uncles, my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncles, most of them they never worked for anyone. So it was always them doing this and that around the communities and all that. So my grandfather, he was a farmer and a hunter while my grandmother was doing only farming. So during that time, we used to go as far as producing a little bit more so that we can sell in the community and make a little bit of money to survive on. So that is the little that I can say as far as my grandparents are concerned.
Wow. I like that. I mean, I'm working in the agricultural sector, so when I hear somebody talking about farming and being able to ignite that entrepreneurial spirit, I'm excited about that. What I'm learning or what I'm picking from what you've just said is that the ability to observe what is happening within us, so your grandfather grandmother is entrepreneurial, they are selling a little bit there, they don't leave you behind, but they bring you along to say, hey, come and do something, and you grew up with that entrepreneurial spirit. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. So yeah, so we will see, but now because when we look at the business that you are in and where you started, these are two completely different, pathways. The question that I'm asking back then as a child, and given the circumstances and what you were doing, did you ever imagine yourself doing what you do now, or maybe in the business that you are in now?
Unfortunately, as a boy, a young boy back then, I looked at everything that was happening then as if it was taking me away from being a child, being able to play with other kids. And as I grew older, I started noticing that those were skill sets and knowledge that I can never get from any institution because it was directly taught. I lived through it, and over the years, I have just I keep going back to it and saying, you know what? Whenever I feel a little bit down, I just go back and then I draw strength from all those teachings that I've had from my grandfather and grandmother. And unfortunately, my grandfather passed while I was 10. So I've had a very short time to actually get to learn all the skills as far as farming and hunting whenever we had to stop at some point
Mhm.
because of diseases. But farming, we continued up until he passed when I was 10.
Wow, that's interesting. We always get people in the show that says it was a godly idea, or it started from here, or this is or this event in my life made me realize this and that, and therefore I took this road or this path. Now, when was that point for you? I know you started around 8. I can imagine being woken up by a child wasn't the most nicest thing. Yeah, ifane yamabeleni, yamasimwini, we need to work and we need to go and sell to the community while you thought you're missing out on playing with your friends. But when did you realize that actually there's money somewhere here? This is what I'm called to do to become an entrepreneur. When was that point for you?
The point came actually after my grandfather's passing. That's when I started to realize that I looked at my family surrounding. I looked at the environment under which I was being raised. And I sat down and I told myself, I have to do something about this situation. I cannot continue living in a mud house. I cannot let my grandmother to continue going to the bushes to go get some wood. I cannot allow for her to continue having the challenges that she was going through. And it hit me at that early age. I think I was 12 when I started now to look into other businesses, which now it was no longer farming as my grandfather was late. And I started, back then, I started making wired cars. Because I mean,
Okay.
having to grow up with my grandfather, I could handle any tools. So I started making wired cars. And like I said, most of my family members, they were not working. So I used to target the kids that their parents were working, and then I'll make them the wired cars, and I give it to them. I was smart in a sense that I'll give them the cars around Wednesday, knowing that their parents are going to be paid on Friday. And
Yeah.
so Friday, I don't waste time. Friday, I'll be looking out for those parents, and then I just go and collect my money.
Wow, this is this is so interesting. They say, being an entrepreneur, doc, they always say it's a calling. You can already see, I mean, at 10, 12, that calculation of saying, you know what, let me give this child this car on Wednesday, let them get used to the car and enjoy it by Friday. I want my money. Now the child will probably do the marketing for you, parents, so that
No,
they give your money. So you can see that, what, being an entrepreneur, it's either you have it or you don't have it. But anyway, some people
that's
can
true.
argue that it's a learned skill. But now we're starting to see, Doc, why the now carpentry is coming in. But why in particular that? Why not other things?
Um, that I think is where I am, and yes, that's the current business that we are in. But to take you a little bit back again, I have tried a few businesses as a youngster. Beyond the cars, I realized that the cars were giving me like we used to call it fireball, 50 cent back then,
Yeah.
and I used to make like two, and it's one rand. By morning, I get them paid on Friday. By morning, I've blown it off buying sweets. So I needed to have something else that was going to give me a little bit of better money. And I started another business venture whereby I went to an uncle down the road and I said to him, I've got a business pitch. You see the soccer tournament every Sunday. And I've noticed that there isn't many people who are selling fruits and snacks. So loan me 50 rand, and 50 rand was a lot of money back then. It was equivalent to 500 to 1,000. I said, loan me 50 rand, and I need to try this venture. And I was actually amazed. I mean, I was around what age? It was just, I was around 14. And then he
Sure.
did take a risk and gave me his 50 rand. And I can tell you now, he's late. May his soul rest in peace. I never paid back the 50 rand.
Pay back the money. Pay back the money.
Well,
So, so the challenge there was I made money. I made money, but as a child, you don't know how to manage money. And on the other hand, you have got these adults who are looking at you as a youngster. They say, no, we can get credit and then never pay. So I'm saying to those who are watching now that owes me money, they must know that that money has multiplied so many times.
oh my word.
So much as I didn't return the money out there,
Yes, you want your money
I'm
back.
coming for my money so that I can also pass on the money.
Oh my word.
Interesting.
I love what I'm hearing, but what I'm picking here, the mind of an entrepreneur, man, like it's so exciting because he sees opportunities where nobody sees one, you know. So it's like he's looking at these, now he wants to sell these and all that. Wow, that is very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the African Experience. We are talking to none other than Mr. William Shumba. He's telling us about, you know, his journey into entrepreneur. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, Mr. Shumba, we want to come back to the current business, just to tell us what inspired you to go into this current business, and we'll take it from there. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. This is African Experience.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With NutriBoost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high-fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. NutriBoost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with NutriBoost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the African Experience. We are talking to Mr. William Shumba. Mr. Shumba, now you have done, you know, like the agriculture thing with your grandparents, and you have done the wire, you know, the car wires, and now you are selling, you know, for the people that are watching, you know, soccer and all that. And then what next? You know, I want to fast forward a little bit to where you are now, the business that you are doing now. What inspired you? Because all the other things that you did before is very different from what you are doing now. What inspired you to actually do what you are doing now? And what is it that you are doing now?
Thank you, Doctor. The business that I'm in now was started back in 2005, and the motivation for going into that business is that I was employed from 1996 to 2005 when I initially resigned. I was employed by a retail company, and the money was so little that I couldn't. I remember at some point I needed to have a medical checkup done, and I couldn't even afford to have a medical aid for myself. And when I got to a point whereby I bought my first house, I looked and looked for people to come and do cupboards for me, using relatives and neighbors and everyone, and no one could come through for me. And I ultimately decided, you know, from my young age, I've been able to handle tools. All I needed was to get a tape measure and then measure the walls and take everything that I needed to take, and then go out and look for suppliers to assist me in putting together this project that I needed to do in the house. And I did that. And you know, when they say wishes come along and merge with reality, the first place that I went to somehow became the place that has got to bring me into the business that I'm in. So I managed to put together my first kitchen in my first house. I finished that. I did the bedroom cupboards. As I was busy finalizing that, a neighbor just came about and said to me, "You know what? I've seen you busy knocking some wood together here. What are you doing?" I said, "No, I'm just playing around with this, trying to see where I can get to as far as having a kitchen in my house." He said, "You know what? I'm going to keep coming back to see what you have done. And if I like what I see, I am going to take you on and so that you can come and do my house." And it started there. And when it started as a hobby up until a time when I decided, you know what? I think this hobby, I'm starting to enjoy it more than the work that I'm currently doing. And mind you, by then in this company, retail company, I was a senior, yes, a middle senior manager. But I said to myself, I love this more. And I decided to abandon and resigned. And by then, I've just gotten married. It was 2005. I've just gotten married, and I had to sit down with Madame to say, "Hey, you know what? I don't feel any, I don't feel any push from waking up to go to do my 9 to 5. I have found this thing that I'm doing, and it looks like it can be a lucrative business if I can do it well." And she gave me her blessings. She said, "No, wherever it fails, I will be there to back you up." And one thing about me, I never start something that I never complete, or I never start anything that I don't bring to completion. So it went on, we started getting clients, and decided to sell the private car, buy a buggy so that I can be able to do the work better. And the rest is history. So the business started in 2005. And to date, we are currently approaching our 19th year. And over time, we have diversified. Like Dr. Hlami was saying, that she actually was one of our clients. And we went, we did her house, and she was happy.
Wow, that is so, so interesting. That is so, so interesting. I like how you tell the story of how you actually moved. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the Shumba logo on the screen right now. Maybe let's talk about that. What goes behind selecting the look and feel and the colors of what presents your company? Why that choice?
I chose, if you look at the logo, it's mainly the background is completely black and it's got a bit of gold.
Yes.
So if I can give you a one liner on that logo, is that I'm digging gold amongst mainly my black folks.
Wow.
My clientele, if not 100%, is 99.9% black.
Wow. Doc, what do you say to that? It's so
I
profound.
know.
I didn't see that coming, honestly.
It is, and just before the show, I said, he did my kitchen when I was still back in Pretoria. But knowing what he does now, I'm like, now we need to go back and redo my kitchen because, as one of the clients, I could see the how he has grown, over the years, because I mean the things that he's doing. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna show that, because we have been stalking him and we harvested, some few pictures. But now while we are still on, the logo and the beauty behind it, what kind of services do you give? Because you said you diversify. DJ Messi, let's show that picture with his services so that he take us through what are some of the services that they offer, the Shumba Innovations.
Okay, right on the picture, what you're looking at, you're looking at our current offices, which we bought a ordinary house, which is on the first frame there. And then
Okay,
we,
DJ Messi, go back to the previous picture. Okay,
okay.
continue to.
Yes. On that, we bought an ordinary house. After a few outcry from our clients saying, you know what, you need to have a showroom. We need to come and visit your showroom. We need this and this and that. And I initially told myself that I'm not going to go out and rent space. What I'm going to do, I'm going to find space where I can come in and build ourselves an office space whereby we can showcase and also offer other fellow black entrepreneurs space where they can come and do their businesses. So if you look at that picture there, this is the first frame is the picture of how this property that we initially bought for the business used to look like. And the second frame and all the other frames you can see there, it's a double-story building that we had to now work on and erect. It is currently housing our offices, our showroom, and then it continues to also offer other entrepreneur space. There is a hair salon that's being operational in there. There is a nail bar. There's an optometrist. There's lawyers. So it's basically a business park, a mini business park that we have had to put together there.
And whereabout is it, this mini business park?
We are situated on number 5, Liebenberg Road, Noordwijk in Midrand.
Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, this one also show, more services that you produce or maybe you do. Just
Offer,
take
yes.
us through. Yeah.
Okay. On our services, our primary business has been carpentry, interior finishings, and as we grew, I think up until 2014, that's when we decided, you know what, I've come across so many problems in the other buildings that I get to go work in, and I said, if I can see these problems and then solve them, why can't I avoid them? To get a client who's going to come and say, you know what, I've got this space, I need you to redo it, start to finish, and then we know that it's only you doing everything. So in terms of our services, we offer turnkey construction whereby we can start your house, start to finish, up until we give you your keys. We do alterations, we do project management, we do plan scrutiny, plan assessment, coming with everything that comes into that project. And on the right-hand side there, you can see that has been our bread and butter, and it still continues to be the business that we are mostly passionate about, which is kitchen cupboards, bedroom cupboards, bars, wine cellars, new bathrooms, office and study, office furniture. Those are the services that we render.
Wow, it seems to me like you have mastered the art of taking an idea and then professionalizing it, and then now you are actually also even scaling it. For aspiring entrepreneurs, let's say kuna an entrepreneur now sitting at Guyana, they're very good with their hands. They can build any sort of cupboard or anything like that. Now, how do they move from just being a handyman, fixing things and cupboards at home and for neighbors, and now making it a professional business? What would be your advice there?
Sis Mandla, xilexuwani ni xi hlamusela ku vanhu vo tala, it's passion.
Yeah.
I always tell people I come across a whole lot of up and coming entrepreneurs, people who wants to go into business, and I get to ask them one question: what are you passionate about? And if you can answer me with a positive answer that has carries weight, I'm able to take you on and guide you and give you all the necessary tools that you need. I've got people that I have done that with, and even now their businesses are growing and they are flourishing. They are able to take care of their families. So to answer your question, all it requires is passion, because without passion, you are not going to stick it out.
No, it's interesting because as we are talking and you're telling me that answer, there are people who bear testament to what you're saying. If we can go to our lines and we acknowledge people that are actually watching and they know you, we have one Mampa Kimanya who says, I'm so excited to see my brother and friend William Shumba, whom I've known back in the late 90s. So humble and dedicated. I was a casual worker at a retail store and he was permanently employed. That's how far back this person remembers you. And they go on and say, I remember when he left the retail industry, going to pursue his entrepreneurial journey. Look at him today, being a global champion in his field. We'll talk about that. Why does Mampaki Manya feel that you are a global champion in your field? What is it that you're not telling us, Mr. Shumba? Take us through that.
Like she has put it, sometimes I try and be humble about what we do, and I say, let our work speak volume instead of us talking. People say talk is cheap.
Yeah.
So what I normally do, I just put out everything that needs to be put out, and I must thank God for actually being there for me to give me strength, wisdom, and the skill that I have, that I don't look at things as they are. I look at things as what they can be. So, in other words, what I can say, sis Mandla, I sell future.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. We always, stock, our our guests. So look at, some of the pictures there. Wow, wow, wow. Manda, now you understand why I say no, no, no. We need to go back. I think I need to redo my kitchen
I,
because this is world class.
I think me and you both. Mhm.
I
This
know.
is just
Mr. Shumba, just take us through as we see these pictures. My goodness.
You see that the kitchen. Please go back one back on that kitchen. This
uh-huh.
kitchen that you see there, it's yeah, it's a humbling story. How we came to do this kitchen. I remember we met the owners of the house through a friend, and they got to come to our office and then hosted them there. And the next thing they said, you know what, Shumba, you are going to redo our entire house. So we did that kitchen late last year around October, and then we finished it. And that was after we have been to the Corex show in Sentin, and they came to the Corex and they just rubber stamped, and then afterwards we came and transformed their home. As I'm talking to you now, the very same client today, we are dismantling their 3 bathrooms and their entire main bedroom. We are redoing it from scratch. We're removing everything that's in there.
Yeah. I can imagine because I mean, if I have a kitchen like this, I mean, surely it has to match, with all the other things. DJ Messi, show us more pictures because I know this is really, really well class.
Sure. This is beautiful.
Okay, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, coming to the world, I had to travel to Asia to go import some of the finishings that you see on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this
Okay.
is so amazing. Now, I always am interested on how to keep on running your business and staying afloat. We just came out of a very horrific time, COVID time. How did you keep afloat during that time?
Uh, loko bako Xikwembu xi tshembekile.
Yeah.
That has been my journey during COVID, because it just took us by surprise, all of us. I mean, businesses and everyone. And I'm grateful to God today that we have survived and we went through this. And it wasn't due to my knowledge or my techniques on how I was saving and all that. But just as COVID hits, God sent me at this client, and this client said to me, Shumba, you know what? I hear this thing is clean people, but what I'm going to do, that project that we discussed a year ago, immediately this thing comes off, I want you to come into my house.
Wow.
And then here is the money.
Oh, wow. That indeed was divine intervention. And I hear you always saying, Shkwembu, God loves me, God takes care of me. How big would you say is spirituality in relation to business? Some people will say we don't mix business with anything else, but how would you say it's important for one to belong or have faith in something so that they keep afloat in business during trying times, more especially? So how big is spirituality for you in particular when it comes to business?
My belief, Sis Mandla, is that I believe in God so much that each and everything that I do on a daily basis, I wake up, I pray. I go to sleep, I pray. I thank God for the journey of the day that He has taken me through. And I also get to thank Him for everything, for preserving, looking after me, my family, and everything else. So I am, yes, I am spiritual.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to Mr. William Shumba. Let me go to the lines. I see Tariso Matenchi. Thank you so much for joining. And he's saying, inspired and motivated by this man on daily basis. He's never too proud to teach us upcoming youth all the vast knowledge he has gathered over the years. May Shumba and his brand keep growing to the highest. I just want to go back to what you are saying, you believe and all that. And when I read this message from Tabiso, where you are actually reaching out and you are really mentoring upcoming, entrepreneurs, what he said there, it's a prayer for you. May Shumba and his brand, keep growing to the highest. One thing that I have learned in life is that when you do that and you do that to many people and they pray for your blessings, surely God cannot ignore the prayers of the many people
Man,
to really bless you. Is this something that you also believe in? Because at least for me, I know it works for me to say, if I want other people to pray for me, I do good for them
yes.
and they pray. And if I have 100 or 200 people who are saying, may God bless you, surely God cannot ignore that. Is just say something about that, especially what Tabiso is saying there.
Uh, Interestingly, Tabiso, he's the guy that has designed, has drawn. He's an architect, lecturer actually, and he's a guy that who has drawn our current workshop that we currently building now. And he will always come and say, "Hey, Tate Shumba, are you sure you want to do this project?" I said, "You know what, Tabiso, I might not have the money as you may look how big this project is, but I believe God is going to provide." And coming to the prayers as well, uh, I just flew in and out of Durban on Sunday for a project that we're currently undertaking at Umhlanga. And I asked for the client to pick me up from the airport and drop me off. So as we're driving back to the airport, they say to me, "Weshumba, the Zulu, Weshumba, ungafi phela ongakacedi imali yami. Uyabona abantu bafaka kangakanani?" And I said to her, "You know what, Nosi? Angeke ngife ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi le mali uyisebenzele kanzima and uyangithandazela nsuku zonke ukuthi ngize ngiyicede indlu yakho."
Mm, mm.
Those are very, very kind words from the client. It talks to the character that is Mr. Shumba. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to a very humble but astute businessman who's very talented. And I mean, you have seen from the pictures that honestly speaking, his work is first class. Now, on that note, Mr. Shumba, who is your target market? Is this is this a very high-end target market offering, or do you accommodate those of us from humbleness and what are we catered for?
Okay, so Smandla, I do, Aniketi, when it comes to clients, I can tell you now, I still service my clients from the townships, and we don't take anything for granted. No matter how small the project is, we go, we give it our best because I believe in humble beginnings. Those clients that are coming to us and then we're still doing projects for them, say 10,000, 15,000, they have carried us when we started and we keep on growing with them. Because I believe in growth for us as a company. I also believe in growth for our clients, given the fact that if the client we have done a house for them back then and they paid 20,000, 5 years down the line, they move houses and they in that house we go and make 200,000. 5 years again, they move again, and then we also grow with them. We get in their next project, we get to make 2 million out of that project. And this has been happening. I mean, I can bear testament to that now that I've got currently a project that we're currently doing in Stain City. And if I can tell you where those clients I come from with those clients, we came from I think 12 to 15 years ago when we had to make them only bedside pedestals,
Wow.
which costed them back then around 1,000 rand for two. And now they have entrusted us with this big project that we're currently undertaking.
Wow, that's so fascinating. And on that note, I'd like us to follow through. What would you say are your biggest highlights? What would you say that when I did this project where I did so much and this was the spec, that was my proudest moment. What would be those?
Uh, like in some serious Mandla, our projects, all our projects, we regard them as the best of the best. For an example, you can look at that kitchen that we have done. We really went all out. And
Okay.
it doesn't matter how small it is. We are just going to we are going to blow you away with our finishings. We are going to make sure that we give you a workable, practical, and quality of work that we put into that particular project is going to be outstanding. So I
Like,
cannot single-handedly put one project because all our projects are at that level,
I like
irrespective
that.
of the cost. Yeah.
I like that. And I would like DJ, okay, so because we put, some collage of, some kitchens and all that, that is, when you talk about you give it the best, your finishes and all that, that is really, really, really outstanding. You look at that and you say, wow, actually, I will sleep in my kitchen.
Sure.
Or even just stay there, stay there, stay there. Thank you so much for sharing the passion. But now take us through. Here is the client, whether small or big or whatever. How do they start, to place the order? Take us through from the moment somebody said, yes, I want, Shumba Innovations to do something for me. How do you take them through from that moment up until they see something that is standing like that?
Okay. The question that I get to be asked is how much is this? How much did this project cost? And I humbly say to clients, when what you're looking at that particular moment, you're looking at a picture. You do not know the components that went into that. So I normally say to our clients, you know what, come, let's consult. We'll either come to your space, to your house, and do the measurements, and then from the measurements we come back, we sit down, we interrogate everything. What is it that you need? Why do you decide that you want to change your space? And then we take you through the materials, that the different materials that we have. And from there we sit down, we draw your design, we do in-house designs. We draw your particular project, and then we present it to you. And given the material spec that you have picked, then we give you your quotation. From there, we get on ground to make sure that we give you whatever it is that we have agreed upon.
Wow, that's interesting about the issue of pricing, how much. Most of black entrepreneurs, I dare say, are very scared of costing, number one, and are very scared of actually pricing. What
Yes.
would be your advice there? Mali haichava. It's like, no, you're thinking, no, these people maybe they will not afford or they will think I'm expensive. But in business, you need to do what is right. So what advice would you give to entrepreneurs when it comes to costing and then pricing our end products?
Coming to answer to that, yes, you are right, Sis Mandla. I've come across a lot of other entrepreneurs who actually have got that problem. But this is my humble saying at the moment. I say to my clients, I have been in this business long enough to know the value of the product that we need to give you. And I am going to price you according to the services that we believe we need to give to you. And if for some odd reason you are not able to afford our services, I always say rather save a little bit more so that we can come back and do this project for you. And I'll plead with you not to go and give it to another service provider, because the first thing, the reason why you chose us first is for a reason. So go save and come back to us. I'm talking to you now. I remember this lady somewhere in Pretoria North. She has given us like 50,000, and this was like 5 years ago. Even now, she said, no matter what happens, I want you, Shumba Innovations, to come and do my kitchen. So coming to the advice to fellow entrepreneurs is that don't underquote, don't undercharge because you're scared of losing a client. Because you're gonna undercharge and then you're gonna provide mediocre service, and that is gonna get you out of business.
I see. I like that. I like that. And I think we are confronted with that, so some of us who are doing, services and not products, where people struggle to actually see the service because it's not tangible, but you know that your service is excellent and all that. When you price it, they go like, but it's only when they have given you a chance and they see what you can do, where they realize that, actually, here we are getting value for money. But in your case, where you really giving, products, and people can really see that. Thank you so much. Let me go back to the line. I see Love Mabasa. Thank you so much. We see you. I see Pomudao. See, Popodao, it's saying, my brother who has inspired me in everything in life. I remember using his bicycle back then. He was selling ice cream. I think you missed that one, the ice cream. We know. We know all the other things that you were selling, but the ice cream as well. He taught me a lot of things in the art of hands. Thank you so much, Sipom Dao, for really, really saying that. Now, Mr. Shumba, surely your business seems to be growing from strength to strength, and you don't seem like a person who's stopping, anytime soon. and we have seen you going to places. And I want DJ Messi to show a picture that we picked from your Facebook page. I think it's a recent one. I don't know where you were going, but it looks so beautiful. DJ Messi, can you share that? What was happening here? Where were
Oh,
you going? And tell us a bit more about these pictures.
yes. As I've said earlier, that everything that I'm currently working on now, the current business now, it's all came from passion. And all I had to do was to make sure that each and every time I keep resharpening my skills and I keep on going to places whereby they are going to open me up to new ideas, new ventures that can bring them back into the company and also get to pass it on to our clients. So the pictures which are on the screen, it was now recently. Um, I went to the, as you can see, the Euro Cucina is the World Kitchen Fair, which is held in Italy, Milan. So I regularly go just to see what is happening in the outside world and to try and also bring it, because it takes time for certain trends to filter through to come back to the country. So I go there to observe and see how things are done, what mechanisms are in at that particular moment, and try and beat competition to it. Make sure that I bring it into the country before the other competitors can actually do so. And that is one thing that actually has is giving us the edge over our competition.
Well, I know there was another one, TJ Messi. There we go.
Yes. This is my mantra: never stop exploring. And when you look at that picture, the background of those waiting there, you see there's a peak, which is the hill, and there's a valley, there's a snow on the hill there, and there's a sun right at the top. So, my story over this picture is it doesn't matter what happens in business, you need to stay strong, you need to keep climbing. You can be right down in the valley, but you can see a glimpse of light. So all you need to do is just to keep climbing up until you reach the summit, and then you can embrace in the sun.
Wow, very powerful, strong statement there. Never stop exploring. Kuthiwa when you stop exploring, you die. So if you don't want to die now, continue exploring and finding that godly idea. Now, you know what? It's so amazing to track your journey, starting from your humble beginnings in Hammanskraal as a child, following your grandparents, and now coming into your own and realizing that, hang on, I'm talented, and having a support of your family, and growing until now you decide that, you know what, I'm going to bring the world to South Africa with my talent, with my interior designs. What does the future look like in this case?
The future is looking bright, and one thing that I might have not mentioned is that I continually uh, scout for young talent and try them out. But the one thing about me is that I'm very strict, and I do not tolerate laziness. I do not tolerate shortcuts. So if you are going to come to me, you need to, even if you might not have the whole 100% passion I have, at least come with over 50, and then we can help you to push it up. But one thing that I have learned over the years is that I keep trying to bring up other youngsters, be it in the family. I've tried and I've at a point of giving up. So I'm making a call out there through this platform to say, if you have got what it takes as a youngster, you want to grow, you want to develop yourself, come through, and then I will take you through what I expect. And another thing that I appreciate is for people not to take chances, because We are, each and everything that we do is time conscious. So I need someone who's going to come. I'm gonna task them. Like over on Saturday, I met this young lady. She went past our office and she said, "Wow, this looks beautiful. I'm in interior business. I'm currently studying design and all that." I said, "You know what? Go and, since you are doing this, go and put together a mood board and come and present it to me. Let me see what you can do, and then we can talk from there." Gone, not even a call. Gone. So I am willing, Dr. Hlami, to take on strong, self-driven youngsters who are willing to grow with us, and we can get them on and then grow with them.
I like that. We asked DJ Messi to show, your details as well. Is it where they can find you?
Yes, they can reach me. They can, the best platform, they can call me on my cell number there, or drop me a WhatsApp. I think a WhatsApp will be better so that they can also get to share a little bit of what they do. So they can WhatsApp me or they can email me with a bit of what they have done. And unfortunately, I know that there are youngsters who are not connecting to this. But for those that know someone or some people who are keen to grow along with us, they are most welcome to send them through.
And where is your reach? Do they have to be in Gauteng, or where about in the country these people need to be?
For now, I'm thinking Gauteng will be most suitable because obviously, when we start with them, we are only going to give them a stipend up until we are sure that they've got what it takes. Yes, but upskilling, we can do it, but we just don't want people. I don't want lazy people. Sorry to
Yeah.
say, but I don't want lazy people. I don't want people who are going to have to ask for a task to be done twice and go for the third time. I wouldn't want that, because that now
Absolutely.
hampers hampers the production, hampers everything that we need to carry out to our clients.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the African experience. You'll see that we skipped, some of the ad breaks because we didn't want to lose anything that we needed to hear from, Mr. Shumba. We only have 2 minutes to go, Mr. Shumba. We always ask about your parting shot. What is your parting shot? What is that one thing that is still in your heart that you want to pour out, to our listeners?
Okay, one thing that I would like to say, it's a challenge actually to our youngsters, and this is something that I always say. I always post messages on my what do you call, on my WhatsApp status, and the one that I would like to say to everyone watching or listening, I would like to say to them, if you want to achieve big, do the small things right.
Wow. Short and to the point. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the African experience. You are with me, Dr. Hlami Ngwenya, together with my beautiful, beautiful host, Mandla Aventina Mabunda. We were talking to these inspiring, gentlemen who had, who came from the humble beginnings. And he is where he is today as an international person who's doing extraordinary things. Surely, start small and you have to do things right. Thank you so much to DJ Messi, our technical producer, and all our loyal listeners, here in the African Experience. Ladies and gentlemen, we see you again next week, same time, same place, with yet another trailblazer and people who have to inspire us. Thank you so much. Mandla, the last word from you.
No, they need to stay put. We'll see them next week, same time, same place. Thank you.
I see Tebucho, last one, Tebucho Shumba. Thank you so much. We can see that you just joined. Yes, let me read this one. You are a legend, Mr. Shumba, born to make a difference through your passion, discipline, and focus. you found your calling and are excelling at it. Keep inspiring and making a difference. Thank you so much. This is what we have the time for tonight. Thank you so much and God bless.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika, nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika, nakupenda sana.